So these days there is a cloud security community. There are many communities, ISC Square community, and we have besides Bangalore and Worldwide Women in Cybersecurity. All that there are many conferences that are happening. There are many workshops are happening. Hands-on trainings are happening. Right. When all these are very good platform one to start with to get to knowledge, and definitely you have a very good chance of networking.
The cybercrime rate is also, going on a peak. From a cybersecurity perspective, or from that point of view, how do you see these risks getting
mitigated?
Technology impacting these risks, like AI or even cloud for that matter.
Application related application security tools, their vulnerabilities that it is giving, the threats that are giving, proper analyzing of threats, and it starts everything from the design phase. While you enter to the design phase, while the dev team is making their own coding and all that, you have the approved plan over there. What is the architecture document plan, approved architecture document plan? From there you need to derive the security things, whether all the security part of these things have been covered or not by doing threat modeling. And from the tool, definitely from manually also you need to do everything. You can't be dependent on the tool, at the design phase. You need to do both. You need to have one is tool, the other one is human mind.
You're watching The Mainstream. I am Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today, and we are back with a new episode from our exclusive series, Wonder Woman in Cyber. Today, we have with us a true dynamic and visionary Wonder Woman from the cyberspace, Ms. Ranjni Joshi. Ranjni, thank you so much for agreeing to do this with us and being a part of this series.
Thank you, Simran. Thank you for having me here. Very good evening.
The pleasure is
It's a pleasure for me to be in the stage and share my experience.
Absolutely. The pleasure is totally ours as well. And with that being said, you need no introduction. I will still take this opportunity to share a few things about you. Introducing Ms. Ranjni Joshi. She is an accomplished cybersecurity leader with a diverse expertise spanning AWS cloud security, OT cybersecurity, Salesforce cloud security, and quality assurance. With an extensive experience in the Salesforce cloud, BFSI, and embedded domains, she has led and been part of the initiatives to establish centers of excellence in OT cybersecurity with a deep understanding of compliance standards like ISA, IEC 62443, NIST, and MITRE ATT&CK. She has also led speaker sessions on OT cybersecurity awareness in different platforms. As a dedicated advocate for quality assurance, she has also led the teams and has successfully implemented robust security frameworks and architects, and has done risk assessments in threat modeling to protect critical infrastructures. Recognized for her leadership and her expertise, she continues to drive innovation in cybersecurity, empowering teams and advancing security standards in cloud and OT environments. Today, we are more than thrilled to take a deep dive into her journey and also hear out some critical insights from her. So without any further ado, let's begin. Firstly, I would like to understand what inspired you to pursue a career in cybersecurity. How did you navigate those challenges of being a woman in a traditionally male-dominated field? And if you could tell us a bit about this.
Yeah, to start with, yes, definitely it's a male dominated, and I have experience too. To start with, I was in the security, or I basically come from a embedded two-way BFSI, worked in BFSI for 10 years, and then I switched, I got dipped into Salesforce Cloud project very first back then in 2017. I was just a lead then, not even papers. So, but I had that hunger or no to lead the team as always, as no to grow up in the ladder and all that stuff. And obviously I had a US praise and all that. So 2017 where the great break or a kick you can say which I got it. So I was just put into Salesforce project for Salesforce cloud implementation for one of the big banking client at offshore, and that first release went very nice, very well, very success. And the same thing that followed me, and next year year, I got my US visa and all that stuff. God's grace. But yeah, I was pushed to the same opportunity for different, again, very bigger bank, like M&T Bank in US. So I flew there, and somewhere the cloud things all of a sudden started, because I always wanted to move to pen testing, because I come from a QA to pen testing, but I got cloud. So that's where the cloud and the security started back then from 2017. And I was like not prepared enough. All the big, the cloud buzzes, cloud words, all that cloud thing, infrastructure, cloud infrastructure. So how's that integration, QA validation is done? How's that pen testing is done? The bigger aspect of security, right? And I was put into a complete almost 40 interfaces of banking systems validations.
Right.
QA validation and security. And I had my own team, 12 to 15 members team, which I was handling it. And I was the only one there. And, handling both QA and security part of it. Okay. So that's where the cloud knowledge, all that, I got it. And I came back to US, and then with a little of glitch that I had, as you say, the main dominism that I had it with my experience. So I had to come back with that experience to India. And I started for looking during COVID. This happened during COVID. Okay. And I came back during COVID, and I was pushed to another bank for the same position. Even that bank wanted to move to Salesforce from their legacy systems. Wherever they gave me profile, I was able to through. Client was having me as at first place, and then the team grew. This is the raw where I'm opening it here. And all that I had little thing is to do a hard work. As you say, the male dominism, I had that very bad experience. First time speaking in this openly in this forum. Somewhere during COVID, my personal life for my son, it got hit, and then I had to come out of the project, and I was pushed to some other where it is nowhere related to my area. Then I thought it is a good time to stop this. I want to either in a cloud roles, because everyone was going to a cloud. Everyone is moving to cloud, and I was moving opposite direction with that opportunity, whatever they had to give me. Then I opposed it, and I put my papers with no regret, no asking anyone at home. I put my papers, and I started a city of cyber, how to do it. I was into cloud, QA, security, all that. But how is that cyber thing, right? Then I started my journey. Then I took a freelancing of job of almost for 1.5 years I did. Then I got into this with security.
Wonderful. And I think as difficult as it sounds, I'm sure
Yes, I don't know anyone in cybersecurity area today. Whatever we see, the big people, big names that we take out, I don't know this area at all. I don't know anyone. Back then, I was having only Google, and the very first certification that I did was CH, and then followed by CCSP trainings, and rest all whatever you see, meta attack. I catched. There's many subdomains. Further questions I'll answer you. How to catch those? There are many sub branches, right? As a newcomer, I want to come out and then flourish in the different area altogether. I was back then good QA. Now, how do I see my space? What am I doing? Where am I? Like, what are of my other age girls or women? What are they doing? What am I doing? Where am I going at? Right? When this is very raw, I'm speaking. So you get all these sort of questions after coming from US. You are on the peak to straight to this. Get that?
Right.
So that hit me very bad, and then I have sat very good number of hours to catch hold of this.
Great.
So then I started giving workshops or sessions on cloud security services. Since Salesforce Cloud uses AWS, I catch that security services, how to implement, did that practicals, did my hands dirty towards there practically, how is that implemented? That's where I started from one of my very good friend, Kiran, who is in Walmart today. He called out for this, job, freelancing job. They were having AWS. So I got that grip now there. So I get into that. I learned with low or something. Then I had that good experience. So the cloud, yes, QA, embedded. So all that, this recipe I have made out of it. And in my current role also I work for critical infrastructure railways, where all our applications are hosted on AWS. Again, AWS cloud security is there. And T security, I'm playing role as a 4.3 expert here, implementing compliance and GRC and security, cloud security part of it. And since they have a hardware devices that are sitting in a train, they track, they monitor the systems. So the signals or a data that it sends through telemetry and MQTT data. So all that is a little learnings for everyone. It is not that big rocket science, but you need to have that hunger.
Right.
Got it?
Absolutely.
You need to sit, give time, have that hunger, zeal, whatever you say, you will be.
Rightly said. So, and I think as difficult as the path has been for you, I'm sure a lot of challenges have, have come, have made their way. So, any common challenges or any key challenges that you have come across for a woman in cybersecurity space, apart from starting from scratch, moving from cloud to cybersecurity, what are those critical challenges that you have, that have made their way in your journey?
One is cybersecurity has a very big branches, many much sub branches are there. And for me to, as my experience, I'll tell you, how do I connect my dots? Whether I should choose SIM, SOC, or pen testing, GRC, or what should I see further where I can take ahead? Because I'm not good at coding, right? As a QA. I mean, that is from development. Since I'm from a QA, where do I choose if I have to sustain further years? Right? Like there is a Selenium and all that for QAs. Now, if you want to switch your domain for further sustainability that you should have, or you want to have further years, some more years you need, and you need to be in that limelight or a buzz or whatever you say in that domain or industry, then you need to catch hold of that kind of a skill set, and you need to join your connects if at all if you can. Otherwise, you need to start from scratch.
Right.
And there are many here in the not only cybersecurity, in OT also there are many sectors. The energy sector, there are power plants, there are industries, right? There are petroleum industries, oil and water, wastewater age things. I know there is a railways critical infrastructure. There are many domains, and again, all come under, though it comes under cybersecurity, each is different. Even though in OT security, all this whatever I have mentioned, each domain and each compliance GSC part of regulatory standards are different.
Correct.
You need to learn that.
Absolutely.
So this is how, if anyone wants, you need to pick which role you want to go, catch hold of the job description, catch hold of that each word. What is it? If you don't know, if anyone good mentor, search for good. So I was saying there are many sectors.
Correct.
Like energy, transportation, oil and gas, petroleum, very big bottom. So wastewater, sewage, industries or factories and all that. Everywhere the cyber security is required.
Right.
So this is the basic thought that I got.
Correct.
Now I'm in a cloud. I have good experience of that, and I'm very good catcher of defects. So that negative thought, negative thinking, or negative catching of defects and the things. This is somewhere I thought of thinking, ethical, though I should do ethically. But what is that? Red teaming, blue teaming, all that cyber thing that is there today. I wanted to catch any one of this. Then since I didn't get pen testing, then I was searching for it. Now I've got into OT and doing both of security and little bit of threat modeling, all that little things, risk assessments, threat and risk analysis, incident response plan, and cybersecurity strategy plan. All that, since I'm from QA, this test strategy plan, test plan document, all that is my basic bread. So it became little easy on the documentation part for me.
Correct.
Okay. Now I need to know only on the domain thing. For domain, you have good white papers.
Right.
If you get good mentor, you're blessed. If you're not, still you're blessed because you have a Google and white papers.
Right. Right.
And you have a Google and you have YouTubes. Each job description I took, each word I have taken, Google it. You will get some or the other. Connect those dots. I mean, anyone you have, if you have this urge, this is the path. If you don't get, you can't stop it. I don't want to stop it if I don't get anyone.
Rightly
So-
said. I think for a woman, who has started from scratch, moving from cloud to cybersecurity, this has been one hell of a journey to put it across. But
Yeah.
I think it's quite an inspiration, Ranjni.
This is raw. This is the path I have followed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And do you think, for a lot of women who have career shifts, or even a segment that has been, like in your case, moving from cloud to cyber, do you think mentorship plays a very important role in shaping one's career, especially for women in tech?
Definitely. Now, after when I started giving workshop sessions, I found Dr. Ram in CSA event. Then that's where I followed. I mean, CSA is the break Cloud Security Alliance gave me a breakthrough. Today, as a worldwide cybersecurity in women for Bangalore chapter, I'm heading it along with Sujata, who takes care of it. As a volunteering, as a leader, I do all. It's not that I'm a leader. I'm coming from base, so I want to be in base. You know, so I today I've got good mentors like Dr. and Manjunath, who is almost 15 plus years in OT. So catching hold of those two and others as well.
Wonderful. I mean, it's quite
Yeah.
interesting, you know. But
You need, somewhere what I want to say is you need to start. You will get away. You need to start first. Then universe will take through.
absolutely,
I mean
absolutely.
that's what I if you understand from my story, then to start with, until I come to some extent, I had no one. Only Google and YouTube's, that's it. And white papers.
Fantastic. And against this backdrop, I also want to know from you, are there any essential skill sets in today's day and age, especially now that we hear a lot on emerging technologies? There's AI, there's cloud computing, edge computing as well. Any unique
There is a quantum theory.
Yes, yes, that as well. So, any unique skill sets that are, required for any for women or in general for leaders to
Correct.
in today's tech space?
So in tech space, yeah, the very first thing is in whichever domain, whichever area you are, or whatever the gender you are, you need to have that basic skill set, and to extend always there is a way. Or to elaborate, if you want to ask me, or if I want that answer from me, see, if you are in development, you
Correct.
know what domain you have to catch hold.
Correct.
So you have to, there is a Python, the recent, there is no much scope for C++ or Java, you know, very little. Now there is a Python and
Correct.
other versions, they Golang, all that languages, right? And there is a dev, always there is a QA, and there is a operations, right? Now for sec, there is a in between, there is a QA and sec, right? So for QA, what are the tools that we have, right? Black, Polaris, Invicti. There are many Nmap, Wireshark, Burpsuit, all the different tools out there. There are many Fortinet. I mean, there are many, like, if you name it, then you get very big list of tools to get it. So
Right.
wherever you are within a company, you switch the dream role that you're looking for further. You need to have the trial version, practice it again. It is, you can't stop. You don't stop it just because you are not getting opportunity. Since I didn't get opportunity of pen testing within in my own company, I had to take this step that I have to go this way, otherwise it's a kitchen for me. You get that?
Right.
You're either I'm okay, I'll be going back to kitchen, or here. I had only two choice. So with that, all that said, I had to sit with long hours getting ready for all these things, and God's grace, I have got two good mentors with me right now.
It's quite a bold statement, but I think somewhere down the line, I do understand where you're coming from, Ranjni. Again, when we talk about,
I mean, I'm saying this raw because people ping me and ask me,
Correct.
how do you get it? What all you did? And all that. So that's why I'm opening my story over here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think for a leader, both in T security, when we talk about operational security and US cloud security as well, from your perspective, how do you foster an inclusive environment, or how do you build that culture to promote innovation plus diversity within your teams?
See, for women, in these days, there are conferences. Back then, we didn't had anything almost some 8 years back or 10 years where there was any conference happening. I have attended testing conferences. Apart from that, and I haven't heard on cybersecurity conferences. So these days, there is a cloud security community. There are many communities, ISC Square community, and we have besides Bangalore and Worldwide Women in Cybersecurity, all that. There are many conferences that are happening. There are many workshops are happening. Hands-on trainings are happening.
Right.
Right. I mean, all these are very good platform, one to start with, to get to knowledge, and definitely you have a very good chance of networking. You know people who are there now. You need to have that collaborating skills and learning. Obviously, you get to know on the workshops. All the skills that you will know definitely what kind of workshops you need to attend. There are many women-related sessions. So
Correct.
all these are there today to sit. You need to just sit in a chair and then listen and pick whatever you want, and then put a workflow what you want, and still you don't know, there always people are there you can approach. Definitely anyone will tell, approaching to the right people.
Absolutely, very important aspect that you have highlighted, I think. And next, I want to understand, I would go a little bit technical, but I want
Yes.
to hear the risk landscape is also evolving along with the emerging technologies. There are a lot of complicated risks that we see every other day. The cybercrime rate is also, going on a peak. From a cybersecurity perspective, or from that point of view, how do you see these risks getting how do you see
Mitigated.
technology impacting these risks, like AI or even cloud for that matter?
See, all that has to be mitigated appropriately.
Correct.
The very first thing, if you ask application related, application security tools, their vulnerabilities that it is giving, the threats that are giving, proper analyzing of threats, and it starts everything from the design phase. While you enter to the design phase, while the dev team is making their own coding and all that, you have the approved plan over there. What is the architecture document plan, approved architecture document plan? From there you need to derive the security things, whether all the security part of these things have been covered or not by doing threat modeling. And from the tool, definitely from manually also you need to do everything. You can't be dependent on the tool, at the design phase. You need to do both. You need to have, one is tool, the other one is human mind. Both you need to have, and then analyze your threats. What tool kind of tool threats are giving, and what kind of your human mind, and analyzing of those things, sitting discussing with the dev team, sitting with architects, having that analyzing. So from each works pace to pace, like if the database is connecting to one API or a UI, from request is coming from the outside browser to inside, so what is that kind of connection that is coming, what kind of requests are getting inside to the infrastructure, or or Microsoft or GCP, whatever the cloud they are working for.
Correct.
So all each threat, each piece to piece connection in the architecture, we have to catch hold of it. Those, if you have to ask the clients, the clarification, all that has to be documented properly, because these are the security things that the design phase that is happening, and you never know where do we miss all those things, right? So that list and documentation, incident response plan, cybersecurity strategy plan, how you want to strategize your further execution. There is a pen testing team who is sitting and doing their manual pen testing always, as well using the tools, right? So all the validation that they are doing have to come in the documentation. Everything should go hand in hand, and there is also dependencies, like while the V&V or agile model, that phases that we go through of SDLC, secure SDLC, whatever we call DevSecOps, right? All that phase to phase. So each floor has its own security thing to be watched out.
Right.
And to more tell more, at the OT side, you have your network, you need to segment.
Correct.
You have your different, there are Purdue model. It takes another podcast, I don't know. There is a 6 layers of Purdue model in OT, if I have to say. They're different. They are computers, PLCs, SCADA, and then IT infrastructure is there, so actual systems is there, and they're connected to IT infrastructure. From IT to the data is coming to the cloud. Now all OT is also using, few clients are using cloud for OT systems. So now there is a communication between from bottom to top, and where different levels of different hardware devices are communicating, different kinds of data transitioning, and it is going and sitting in the cloud. And from cloud, someone is watching. There is a monitoring tool, a team or a tool, or that shows up, Datadog, SIM tool, where you get in a dashboard. So it is that piece to piece connection.
Right, right.
So your MFA has to be tight, very first place. Least privilege has to be implemented, and you have to just focus on how is your downtime tolerance you have, and regularly update the patches. All the third-party softwares or libraries that the dev team is using, all these are with the latest versions. Otherwise, tool will give this all. Your SBOM is tight. Your firmware inventory is tight, because here we have embedded devices which is sending data. Again, you have embedded devices of firmware. So firmware updated version, third party libraries of its version. So it is many. It is not simple as pen testing. You have OWASP 10 again. If you talk on pen testing, top 10 API OWASP top 10, all that to do, different tools to do all that. But here in OT, it is very critical, because the different levels, the systems are somewhere. Correct. And train is and train is somewhere.
Correct.
Got it. And there is signaling. So that if you deep down, this OT have lot different domains to talk about and different, and seriously still people don't know what things are required here. And as you said, women heads are less.
Exactly.
That is why I'm going and then speaking how OT security plays an important role, what kind of sectors we have here, and what is that you need it to be in here. It is not rocket science, definitely. You need just one mentor, and you can have the many women heads here.
Right.
I'm going to colleges saying about this because college students don't know. Imagine I'm from 10 years, don't know all this. How would college children know?
Right.
What do we have? Because I have heard this, I'm just telling you one more. So I was as a jury for hackathon 2022 Ames Engineer College in Banirghata Road. So those students, I mean, they are still in connect. They want me to tell them what to choose in cybersecurity. How do we derive? Which path to choose? What to choose? What skill required? What is there to learning here? What kind of different domains are there and what is required? I agree, YouTube has many. I agree, Google gives all thousand answers. Which to choose?
Right.
Which is right for me? What will be I'll be able to do it if I choose this. You need someone to tell.
You definitely need that mentor figure or
Mentor. Since I had this background, I was able to dot by dot I have connected like a pearl.
Right.
I mean, my experience. For students, it is very much difficult. You need,
Yes.
that's why these trainings, these conferences, this hacker government is also coming up, and we have now engineering or a degree colleges coming up, cybersecurity courses they're implemented. And government is also taking the actions on towards hackathons and all that. So that's a good charge or a good step to take that. Hope it makes sense all my answers.
Absolutely. I mean, thank you so much for providing a broader view on this. And again, before we wrap up, I also want to understand from you, or I have rather another question for you. How do you see the role of women evolving in the cyber industry or the cybersecurity industry? Any key message that you would like to give out young, up and coming women leaders who wish to make their mark in this space, and what more can be done to ensure that more and more women should positions?
So one thing is you need to have that curiosity and you need to have that urge and you need to make your path very clear where you want to go. And definitely I myself attend very much women sessions, tracks, all that, women in cloud, all that they make there, we had last 2024, I had been there. So all that women tracks, when you attend, there are many good women leaders who you approach and take the insights from them. Not definitely technical, or there are some technical, but you get that little push. Attend those kind of sessions and also have that take that one mentor with you and catch hold of them and then make your hand dirty.
Very well said. And I think that's the inspiration we all can take collectively as women leaders, women in tech, or otherwise as well. I think
Yes.
it goes for all.
Yeah.
Any key recommendations for women in leadership roles and what more can be done?
Yeah, so first thing is take that sessions, attend those sessions. There are many women related tracks are coming up, women related either motivation talks that also we need it, and any technical sessions, workshops, all those also we need it. End of the day, you need to push yourself. No one pushes you to too much hard, right? So you need to have that zeal, urge, or curiosity, hunger. Anyone should have it. Then universe will take you through.
Lovely, lovely. So nicely put up, and thank you so much for such an inspirational message, Ranjni, and also taking us through your journey and also throwing some light on some critical aspects on security and cloud as well. Before we wrap up, just want to take a moment to thank you so much for being a part of the series and joining us.
Thank you so much for having me and have my sharing little experience. I am still learning, but yes.